Aloha, good evening, everybody, on this pleasant Friday night from Lehi, Utah. Welcome to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the All-State Falcon Classic. Tonight, the semifinals kick off as Copper Hills faces off against Crimson Cliffs in this special presentation of Copper Hills basketball presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. Alexander Tumolev flying solo with you tonight from Skyridge High School here in Lehi, where we've had already exciting action here on day number 2. Skyridge and Farmington going down to the wire. One of the consolation semifinals just finishing up. Farmington hitting 2 threes in the final minute or so to come back and claim a 58-57 win. They're on to the 5th place game where they'll face off against the Westlake Thunder tomorrow morning. But the more important thing is these two teams are facing off for the right to go to the championship game, which is no stranger for Copper Hills. And they were led yesterday by a 22-point outburst by point guard Isaiah Reiser, just a sophomore, by the way. Reiser, arguably one of the best young guards in the state, proved why he was so again yesterday, carrying his team when they needed it the most in the second half. CH got out to an early 13-point lead, but it was nip and tuck the rest of the way as Skyridge chipped into the deficit, and it was back and forth until Reiser took over near the end. And then talking with head coach John Watkins before the game, or rather talking with Skyridge head coach Jeff Gardner earlier this afternoon, talked about how they always have talent, but the teams this year are markedly younger. But that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that there is less talent on the floor. In fact, there is more this year than we've seen in recent years. So we are ready to go between these two squads. Sean Feltz and Wes Curtis will be the jumpers. Wes Curtis at 6'7", and Sean Feltz at 6'11". And to the tune of Sandstorm, we're off and running here this evening. Jacob Curtis almost bounced out of the backcourt. Tyler McVeigh has it, kicks across court. Jacob Curtis, wide open 3, left that one short. And the rebound comes down to Luke Johnson. Very senior-laden group here for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, who come into this one as the market favorites in 4A, and that's one of the reasons why, as Sean Feltz lays that one in off the glass. And it's 2-zip early on in favor of Crimson Cliffs. That is one thing that head coach John Watkins said. They were concerned about the size factor coming into the game, but that's a good sign right there as Tyler McVeigh, the senior, able to score off the offensive putback. John Watkins in his 5th year at the helm of Copper Hills, 55-39 all-time as the Grizzly head coach. Feltz leaves that one short, and Isaiah Reiser with the rebound and dribble up the court. Reiser, who had 22 points and 4 3-pointers last night in that win against Skyridge. Was the 3rd straight year Skyridge and Copper Hills met, whether in the regular season or in the playoffs. 15 on the shot clock here for Reiser. He dribbles to the baseline, gets it back. Lamborn, wide open 3-pointer, left that one short. Taylor fighting for the rebound, and it comes down to Drake Carroll. Nice toss by Johnson inside to Feltz, running up the floor. Feltz had 30 points last night. He single-handedly carried the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs last night. As Reiser drives inside, he gets it stripped by Johnson. Johnson, no-look, toss ahead, and there, a nice play for Carroll. And John Watkins already not happy. He's going to signal for an early timeout here. 5:56 left here in the first quarter. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. And that's one of the things Watkins was talking to us about before the game, is that they have to take care of the basketball and not let the guards for Crimson Cliffs run out in transition. Luke Johnson, by the way, just for comparison, 6'2", 6'1", or rather 6'2", 6 foot, 6'4", across the front for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. So there's a lot of length and size across that backcourt. Not to mention of which, Sean Feltz, 6'11", is the most imposing presence in the front court. Copper Hills scored off one field goal. Isaiah Reiser drives to the basket, slashes and scores. That is why he is so good. Nice hesitation to get to the basket, and that's his first field goal of the game. Feltz out front, trying to lob it into the post, out of bounds. It'll go back to Copper Hills. And that's where I would think John Watkins wants Sean Feltz. He wants him outside the post where he can't cause havoc. Six to 4 early on, 5.5 minutes to go first quarter. Alexander Timolet flying solo with you here tonight. Tyler Gibb will be with me tomorrow. Reiser gets the screen. Kick back. There's an open look for three. And the first Ken Garf automotive three-pointer of the game comes from Wesley Curtis. Here's Luke Johnson out front. Crossover against Reiser. Blocked by Reiser. And nearly got the takeaway, but it will go back to the Copper Hills Grizzlies on the turnover. What a start defensively for Isaiah Reiser against the much bigger Luke Johnson. Isaiah Reiser just 5'10", but he was able to keep his feet planted and get the swat. Meanwhile, the clock is malfunctioning, so we'll have to reset it to whatever they reset it to. It's not 45.1, I know that. It should be 4:51. There we go. So Reiser with 2 points and a block already. Reiser behind a screen, spins on Johnson, kicks it back to Curtis. Wes Curtis against Feltz. Shot clock down to 15. Reiser trying to work off the ball denial. Has the mismatch against Taylor. Switches back onto Johnson now with 10 on the shot clock. John Watkins wants him to go. Reiser puts on the brakes, tries to step back, kicks it back. Curtis not going to be able to get the shot off. It's turned over to Johnson. Carroll on the return from Johnson. Back to Johnson. Now Feltz bobbled that one in the post, and it goes out of bounds. Already the third turnover for Crimson Cliffs. Here's Boston Lamborn on the dribble handoff. Here's Reiser. Steps behind the screen, puts up a three. Left that one a bit short. Fight for the rebound underneath. Scrap for it, and it comes to Johnson. Johnson, again, another loose pass. Carroll zigged while Johnson zagged. And I believe that's already 4 turnovers for Crimson Cliffs here in the first 4.5 minutes of the game. So both teams off to a bit of a sloppy start. In fairness, they have been waiting all day to play this game. So you would expect some rust coming out of the gate. That guy certainly doesn't have a lot of rust. Another Ken Garf three-pointer for Isaiah Reiser. And he's already got, I believe he's already got 8 by my count. He's got 8 of the 10 CH points. It's a 10-6 game, and it's 8 straight points. And meanwhile, we got a foul in the post called against Wes Curtis. Isaiah Reiser, just a sophomore, cousin of Ace Reiser, who plays at Alta, who, of course, will be on the network most of the time this year. Checking in for Copper Hills is Jaden Haight, 6'1" senior. And he'll give Wesley Curtis, the junior, a bit of a breather. Johnson to inbound. Gets it to Taylor. Taylor drives. Taylor up and under move. Off the glass. That won't go. Lindquist couldn't finish it. And Lamborn grabs the rebound. 8 straight Copper Hills points. McVeigh now on the drive, gets inside, and he is fouled going to the basket. Foul called on McKay Lindquist, his first team first, with 2:43 to go. Will send Tyler McVeigh, the 6'4 senior, to the line. It's funny, a lot of these Copper Hills kids that we've talked about have patiently waited their turn over the past few years as McVeigh steps up and hits the first. And McVeigh, definitely another one of those players that has definitely waited his turn. He sat behind guys like McCoy Langston, Quincy Hills, Nathan Sorensen, just to name three. He waited his turn patiently, and now he's got his chance. Here's Drake Carroll off the roll. Feltz in the high post. Lost control of it, got it back though. Taylor drives, floater in the lane. A little too strong, tipped out of bounds. Copper Hills ball. Copper Hills is on a 10-0 run over the past 3 minutes. And meanwhile, the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs have no field goals and no points in the last 5 minutes. Reiser in the paint, floater. Gets it to go. Boy, he's already cooking here tonight. 14-6 in favor of CH, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 10 of the 14 have come from Reiser. Drake Carroll answers with a wing three of his own. Under 2 minutes to go. Both teams got off to a bit of a slow start, but appear to have found their footing here late in the first quarter, as the Mustangs appear to have dropped back, it looks like, in a 1-2-2 zone. 15 on the shot clock here. On the cut, here's McVeigh. Gets around Feltz. Swings to the corner. Reiser wide open. Cha-ching! He's already got 3 threes. Feltz in the post. Turnaround, hook shot, got it. Just ran right over the top of Jaden Haight, and that's the first points for Sean Feltz in 7 minutes. That three-pointer by Carroll, by the way, was the first field goal that the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs had in almost 6 minutes. Reiser to the basket. Gets it to go again. He had 22 last night. He's already got 12 here in the first quarter. Insane. And I don't think he's missed a shot yet. Taylor. Cut into the basket. Nice feed. Johnson spins off the rim. Shot clock disabled, but Reiser wants to run. Reiser, a little fancy dribble through the legs. And he dribbled it off his own foot out of bounds. I think he might have gotten a little too cute with that one. "20 seconds to go. Last possession here for Crimson Cliffs. Johnson drives strong and scores. Good little pin down there from Feltz in the high post. Four seconds. Wes Curtis, drop off, nice pass. And Jaden Haight finishes the quarter nicely for Copper Hills, but it was all Isaiah Reiser in that first quarter. He had 12 of the 21 points for the Copper Hills Grizzlies, who lead by 8 at the end of one. You're watching Copper Hills basketball presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers as part of the Falcon Classic presented by Allstate. Wanted to thank Allstate for their sponsorship of the Allstate Falcon Classic. Welcome back, everybody. Alexander Timolet flying solo with you tonight here at this Copper Hills game between, this game between Copper Hills and Crimson Cliffs. As you take a look at the championship bracket, that's what they're playing for tonight. A berth in the title game on the line between these two teams. The winner plays the Dixie Flyers or the Harriman Mustangs tomorrow afternoon. The loser gets relegated to the third place game tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. Whatever game Copper Hills is in, I'll have that game with Tyler Gibb. What all that matters is we're here right now calling this game, and we love it. Back underway here in the second quarter. Isaiah Reiser has 12 of the 21 points for Copper Hills. He's already hit 3 threes. Here's Luke Johnson driving to the basket. Pull-up jumper from the lane. That's short. Rebound comes down to Jaden Haight. And here comes Reiser. 2 against 2 here. Reiser matched up against Johnson as Curtis takes it on the screen from Lamborn. Picks up his dribble 15 feet from the basket. Now hands it off to Reiser. Shot clock down to 15. Lamborn, crossover dribble. Puts on the brakes. Back it comes to Reiser. 10 on the shot clock. Pull up in the lane. It gets it to go. Taylor on the outlet toss from Johnson now has it out front. Nice pass inside, and Feltz flushes it with 2 hands. We've been waiting for that to uncork itself. He's got 6 of the 15 points here for Crimson Cliffs. Haight, long 3. No, Feltz the rebound. Another outlet toss. Noah Nelson, Jaden Eaton checked in at that last time out as that 3 is off the mark. Eaton trying to chase it down to the corner, or Nelson rather. New 35 here for Crimson Cliffs. Johnson puts up a little floater and leaves that one well off the mark. I don't think he realized how much room he had. And Reiser comes in to clean up the mess. He has 14 points already. If he scores on this possession, he single-handedly will have outscored the entire output that Crimson Cliffs has, but Jacob Curtis says not so fast, or Wes Curtis rather says not so fast. And it's an 11-point Copper Hills lead. Remember, they jumped out to a 13-point lead last night, then had to hang on for dear life the rest of the way as Curtis commits the foul there on Sean Feltz. Jaden Haight picks up the foul. His first, team first. And Sean Feltz will head to the line. Feltz with 6 of the 15 points so far for the Mustangs. And he hits the first. Copper Hills basketball on the Rewind Sports Network, part of the All-State Falcon Classic, is presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers, where they hear you. And Jiffy Lube of Utah, proud to support Utah High School since 2004. Jiffy Lube has sponsored the What Drives You Scholarship Program. Utah students, simply write about your goals and dreams for a chance to win $6,500. Only 8 students will win, and Jiffy Lube of Utah, as Boston Lamborn hits another Ken Garff 3, is giving away $22,000 in total scholarship awards this year. Visit jiffylubutah.com for more information about the What Drives You Scholarship Program. That's already the 6th three-pointer hit by Copper Hills in this first half. Feltz into the paint, puts up the shot. Count it, and 1. And the way Feltz is carrying this Crimson Cliffs team, they may need to take him to Jiffy Lube before he breaks down. Because everybody else except Feltz has been held in check so far, and Isaiah Reiser has been single-handedly almost outscoring everybody. He's got 14 of the 29 points for Copper Hills. He's 4 points away from outscoring, or tying at least, the entire Crimson Cliffs output. As Feltz hits that one to go. And we have a timeout called by Crimson Cliffs. It will be a 30-second timeout, and we will keep it right here. We'd like to remind you, KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of Copper Hills basketball is presented all season long by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. We get it. You want lower prices. You want the best rates. You want the best deals. We know because, hey, we hear you. That's Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. Proud sponsor of Copper Hills basketball all season long. And we also like to remind you that KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school boys basketball continues tomorrow morning at 10:35 when 2 of the best teams in the state, the Olympus Titans and the Davis Darts, meet in the finale of the 5A, 6A High School Basketball Challenge. Dane Stewart has the call at 10:35 a.m. tomorrow morning on your home for UHSAA basketball, KSLSports.com. Alexander Timolev flying solo with you this evening here at Skyridge High School for day 2 of the All-State Falcon Classic. Watching Isaiah Reiser go to work and cook up a treat. here in this first half. He's got, I'm losing count at this point. I think he's got 16 now. Feltz trying to lob it into the corner. Carroll, back it goes. Nice dish underneath, but can't get it to fall. Was Jaden Eaton, and the rebound comes to Reiser. McVeigh to the basket, off the bottom of the backboard. Throw it ahead. Here comes Eaton against Lamborn. Spins, puts it up. That's short. And Haight the rebound. They go up and down the floor. Tyler McVeigh coming the other way with it now. Has Reiser trailing behind. He'll pull it out. Reiser gets it on the return from Lamborn. 19 on the shot clock. Now McVeigh has it. Gets the screen from Jaden Haight. Works off that screen. And he ended up dragging his pivot foot. Or we're going to get a foul. Looked like the umpire on this near side was going to call a travel, but instead he called a foul on Sean Feltz. That's only Feltz's first team first here in this quarter. So off the inbound, here's Curtis. Jacob Curtis couldn't get that one to fall. Reiser, though, almost got the steal, but he ends up committing the reach-in. Noah Marsden, 6'3" senior, by the way, checked in for Crimson Cliffs at that last stoppage. If things are going a little bit quickly, folks, we apologize. We're trying to keep up with all the changes in the lineups as quick as we can. Here's Nelson out front. And a near steal by Reiser. Gets bodied out. Bodies on the deck. Doesn't matter. Copper Hills basketball. As Isaiah Reiser checking his pants, looking to see if there was blood on them. In fact, it looked like part of his shorts are torn. Just tells you how tough this kid is for his stature. My goodness. And Reiser stepped on the baseline right there. Well defended by Carroll. Just the fourth turnover for Copper Hills. They had only 2 in that entire first quarter. And that both came within the first 2-3 minutes of the game. Crimson Cliffs, by contrast, has committed 6. Johnson to Carroll, puts up the shot, doesn't go, and the rebound is captured by Jacob Curtis. Tyler McVeigh to the basket, count it, and the contact, and I mean some serious contact. He went crashing into the end boards down there. It looks like he's okay from my vantage point. He's up, he's walking, he's fine. I hope so, at least. But he will go to the line to shoot 2, so that's a good thing. Foul was called on Britton Phillips, who checked in at that last stoppage. Free throw is no good, but it's still a 14-point game, which is Copper Hills' largest lead of the half. Johnson, pull-up J from 13 feet. No. Tyler McVeigh, the rebound. McVeigh, nice cut to Curtis, and he is bumped all the way to the basket. And then, of course, Rob Geertsen running the replay right next to me, coming up from his food break.
Got hung up.
Meanwhile, Jacob Curtis steps up to the line and misses the first. KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the Falcon Classic continues tomorrow afternoon. And continues all day, actually, tomorrow. Begins with the 7th place game between the Brighton Bengals and the host Skyridge Falcons. Coverage starts tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. and continues all day on your home for UHSAA high school basketball, KSL Sports Rewind. Of course, Tyler Gibb and I will have the call of wherever Copper Hills goes, as that, on a nice cut to the basket from Jaden Eaton, is laid up and in. Isaiah Reiser has 16 points. 16 of the 34 Copper Hills points in this first half McVeigh almost turns it over. Scramble for it on the floor. And coming out of there with it is Crimson Cliffs. Here's McKay Lindquist going to the basket. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Put back and score for Britton Phillips. As the Stangs try to get a little bit of traction here before the end of the first half. And Reiser turns it over again. And Phillips is all by himself. And lays it up and in. And just like that, the lead is down to 9 for Copper Hills. Reiser off the pin down, gets it on the return. 1:38 to go here in the first half. Reiser on the dribble handoff, kicks it into the corner. McVeigh thought about it. Then Reiser hits the floor again. McVeigh picked up his pivot foot. They called it. And so the Mustangs with a chance to cut the lead to 7 here. And all this despite the onslaught by Isaiah Reiser. Here's Luke Johnson. Johnson drives, kicks it out. And it goes right through the wickets that time of Jaden Eaton out of bounds. That's the 7th turnover for Crimson Cliffs here in this first half with 1:08 to go. Jaden Haight will come out and take a breather. Meanwhile, coming in is Austin Ormond, the 6-foot sophomore. Reiser all the way to the basket. Boy, the Red Sea just parted for him. And he just blew right by Luke Johnson. 18 points for Isaiah Reiser. Carroll for 3. Left it short. Tip. Taken there by Jacob Curtis. Curtis coming the other way. Drives inside. Can't get it to go. Drake Carroll coming the other way. 2-on-0. Lindquist gets in with the left hand and scores. And the shot clock disabled. This will be the last possession of the first half. And I bet you Isaiah Reiser's going to get the last shot. Here's Ormond. And here is number 2 with 10. Isaiah Reiser against McKay Lindquist. Reiser, step back. Reiser trying to pull the trigger, can't do it. Johnson gonna have a chance to get it off. Off the front rim, short. That's it for the first half. And what a first half it was. As we take a look at that excellent drive and basket by Isaiah Reiser. 18 points for the point guard in the first half. And it capped off a fabulous first half for the Copper Hills Grizzlies, who were up 36-27 after 16 minutes. We'll be back with the second half of play after this on the Rewind Sports Network. Our coverage of the Falcon Classic continues in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone, to KSLSports.com and the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the All-State Falcon Classic, part of Copper Hills Basketball, presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. As we pull up the championship bracket, once again, that's what they're playing for tonight, folks. In our second semifinal, Dixie against Harriman. But this one right now, Copper Hills and Crimson Cliffs. The winner goes to the championship tomorrow afternoon at 3. Loser goes to the third place game at 1:30. Thanks to Rob Gerritsen for helping me with the graphics and pulling up the commercials tonight. But it was all Copper Hills for most of the first half. Isaiah Reiser had 22 points last night, and in just a quarter and a half, had 18 of the 36 Copper Hills points. Remind you, Copper Hills is wearing white, Crimson Cliffs in the navy shirts with the gray numbers. As we get set to start the second half of this one. And this is the first time we get to bring it up tonight. What a storyline it would be if Copper Hills was able to make the finals of the third place game and face off against the Dixie Flyers. Not only would it be the third straight year Dixie and Copper Hills would face off, but it would mean a little bit more because there is one Logan Whitehour, number 14, who transferred to Dixie earlier this summer. Was a big chunk of John Watkins' offense. what a storyline that would be if those two teams were to meet up here in the tournament. That would be a treat to watch. Isaiah Reiser and Logan Whitehour go at it. The two old friends and two teammates at CH. Meanwhile, Luke Johnson picks Isaiah Reiser's pocket to start the second half. As the Mustangs coming out with some juice here to begin the second 16 minutes. Sean Feltz is the leading scorer right now for Crimson Cliffs. He has 11 points. Everybody else has not scored above 6. Taylor into the post. Pass tipped and stolen. Here comes Reiser. Reiser charging all the way to the basket. Gets blocked there, but it's kicked out to McVeigh, who puts up the 3 and knocks it down. The hot shooting continues from beyond the arc. Another Ken Garff Automotive 3. As Carroll can't get that jumper to fall, and McVeigh cleans up the mess. You know all eyes are going to be on number 2, Isaiah Reiser, here in the second half. As Jacob Curtis can't get that one to spin in. Crimson Cliffs going to need to look somewhere else for their offense right now as Johnson gets it stripped. It will stay here, though. Shot clock at 24. As we take another look at that sequence. Great job not giving up on the play there by Jacob Curtis, finding Tyler McVeigh wide open for the 3. And you notice Isaiah Reiser had 2 guys chasing him down from behind, and now he gets a steal here. And he takes it all the way, gets wrapped up. The foul will be on the floor, no basket. As Isaiah Reiser just keeps going everywhere where the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs don't want him to be right now. Sure, cousin Ace is probably smiling wherever he's watching tonight. As this pass goes all the way into the backcourt. It can go into the backcourt, so no violation. Reiser has it out top. He's been matched up most of the night by Luke Johnson. Curtis. 15 on the shot clock. McVeigh has it on the wing. Looking for a cutter coming up from down deep. Here is Curtis. Wes Curtis goes to the basket. Blocked by Feltz. Here comes Taylor. Taylor to Feltz. And he's fouled before he could gather. Foul called on Boston Lamborn. That is his first. Inbound will come from underneath. Johnson from Lindquist. Johnson, turnaround 13-footer. No. Coach John Watkins calling out the play from his coaching box. Jacob Curtis tried a little trick there. Now here comes Reiser. Oh, the Red Sea just parted, and he sped right to the basket and scooped it up and in. And then Jacob Curtis tried to draw a charge, couldn't do so. But take another look at this, folks. I mean, Reiser was stuck to like flypaper, and he somehow sped his way past 2 defenders. $20 now for Isaiah Reiser. Lindquist, nice turnaround J, and that one behaves. (41-29) Copper Hills. They've led by as many as 14 here in this game. Reiser along the baseline. Walking a tightrope right now. Now he gets cut off. That pass somehow found its way to McVeigh. Looking for somebody to get it to. Now gets it back to Reiser. Reiser puts on the brakes, floats it up, left it short. I believe that's only the second shot he's missed all night long. Luke Johnson, meanwhile, wild shot. Couldn't get it to go really, but a foul. And if I'm not mistaken, Isaiah Reiser has not taken a seat yet in this ball game. I believe he's played every minute of this game so far. As Luke Johnson steps to the free throw line and he hits the first. Noah Nelson checks back into the ball game, replacing Drake Carroll. Austin Ormond getting set to check back in opposite side for Copper Hills. And now we will see the first rest of the night for Isaiah Reiser, who has 20 points. 18 of them coming in the first half, but he has made some big plays also on the defensive end as Johnson goes 2 for 2. And so now the question becomes for John Watkins' crew, who is going to get the offense going? Where are they going to get the offense from? That's the question now for the next few minutes while Reiser's on the bench. And a steal here. Taylor all by himself on the other end, goes up strong and gets it to go. And this is the closest that Crimson Cliffs has been in this game. They are down by 8 as they come with a little 1-2-2 full court trap now. Ormond trapped out front, picked up his dribble 50 feet from the basket. McVeigh, meanwhile, lost control of it out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Mustangs. John Watkins not happy, thought he got hit on the arm, but no call. And a chance to get it down to within 8 points here for Crimson Cliffs. Again, they had not been this much closer than this for most of the game. Johnson into the post. Here's Feltz, goes up with a hook shot. That doesn't go, tipped out of bounds. Grizzlies ball, or is it? Umpires coming in from the back, and we're going to have a discussion. And they're going to reverse the call. Couldn't really see it. Yeah, you can't really see it from our angle, folks. That's a tough look right there. We only have one camera, and it's stationary here on top of the broadcast position. That's just a tough angle for us to pick up any touches underneath. We can't see that far in. Johnson to the basket. No, tip. And the rebound taken and controlled by Curtis. And he gets poked from behind by Johnson. And here comes McKay Lindquist. Things getting a little bit helter-skelter here. Feltz in the post. 3 guys around him, and he gets it to go. And this is the closest that Crimson Cliffs has been here. They're within 6. Curtis trying to answer. Tipped out of bounds. Copper Hills ball. And that was a very short rest, but Isaiah Reiser's going to come back into the game, and they need him out there. And Drake Carroll's going to come in to replace McKay Lindquist. As we have 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. What was once a 12-point lead has been shrunk to 6. Tyler McVeigh gets picked there by Taylor. Taylor to the basket. Good pressure there from the man to get off the ball, but here comes Johnson on the steal. Drives inside on Ormond and gets it to fall. And all of a sudden, we're in a 4-point game. It's 8 straight points by the Stangs. Another steal by Johnson. Johnson to the basket. Nobody's fouled. Luke Johnson single-handedly carrying the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, their captain. But it doesn't matter. Johnson's going to go to the line to shoot 2, and he cannot hit the first. Big miss right there. KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the Copper Hills Grizzlies all season long is presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. We get it. You want the lowest rates, the best deals, and the best prices. We get it. That's why Ken Garff hears you. As Johnson goes 0 for 2, but they can't clean up the rebound. Johnson to the basket. A 2-point game. And the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs have woken up here in the second half. They've outscored Copper Hills 12-5 in this quarter. Isaiah Reiser, and finally we got a foul. There's a little too much hand checking for the referee's liking. We take a look at that last replay. Again, Copper Hills not able to clean up the rebound, and Luke Johnson, who wasn't able to score 2 at the line, gets 2 the old-fashioned way with a hard drive to the bucket. He'll take a breath. As Copper Hills clinging to this 2-point lead. Their lead was once 14. Tyler McVeigh drives to the basket and scores. Another blow-by. And a much-needed basket for Copper Hills breaks an over 4-minute scoring drought, and they're back up by 4. Feltz triple-teamed in the post. Lost control of it. Tries to dive for it, out of bounds. And they're going to say it's Copper Hills' ball. It looked like Boston Lamborn slid on the floor and then carried the ball underneath them out of bounds. But they're going to say it's Copper Hills' ball. Unless they argue, the officials do, that Feltz was actually touching the ball while it was on the line. But again, we don't have the benefit of the doubt because of the camera angle we have up here. So another tough call. One minute, 33 left here in the third quarter. Reiser drives. Reiser spins, kicks it out. McVeigh, open 3. Rolls off the rim. Curtis saves it on the line. A new 35. Haight looking for 3. Will just pull it back out wisely, and they'll get it in the hands of McVeigh. McVeigh going to the basket. Are they going to count it? Or are they going to say it's on the floor? No signal yet. Count the basket and 1. And it came because of the offensive rebound and a great fake on the dribble handoff and the speed right to the basket by McVeigh. And he now starting to wake up here in this third quarter. Ormond back in, Reiser back out. He'll take another rest. Tyler McVeigh to the line, completes the 3-point play, and the Grizzlies are back up by 7 with 5 quick points. Just over 1 minute to go here in the third. Drake Carroll to the basket. A lot of contact and a foul. I'll call that time on Wes Curtis, I believe his second. It's his third, actually, according to the scoreboard. 13 foul against Copper Hills here in this quarter, and well, that's the 15 foul against Copper Hills in this quarter, so that means it's bonus the rest of the way for the next 60 seconds. Daxton Nelson, the 6'3 junior, getting set to check in here for Copper Hills, so John Watkins going deep into his bench as Carroll splashes the first free throw. KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of Copper Hills basketball is presented by Jiffy Lube of Utah. Proud to support high school sports with the What Drives You Scholarship Program. Visit JiffyLubeUtah.com for more information about the What Drives You Scholarship Program for a chance to win $6,500 in scholarship money. Carroll hits both. We're back in a 5-point game with 60 seconds left here in the third. And a foul out near midcourt called on Jaden Eaton. As the 2-on-2 full court trap did not work that time for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. On the dribble handoff, here's McVeigh. McVeigh speeds downhill, got stripped on the way up. Here comes Jones. Britton Jones, Euro step to the basket. A lot of contact, no call. And we got a tie-up on the floor, a jump ball as it looked like it was Eaton and it was Haight that hit the floor. The possession arrow favors the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs with 41.5 seconds left here in the third quarter. Some bodies hit the floor behind the play. Noah Nelson hits the 3. Once again, a 2-point game. Austin Ormond trapped in the backcourt. McVeigh, though, will help him out and get it across the timeline. Game clock and shot clock are just about even. So the Copper Hills Grizzlies will get one chance here before the end of the third. McVeigh, 10 seconds. Gets the screen from Haight. McVeigh for three. Too strong. Rebound chased down. A chance here with two and with one. Nielsen shot on the way is blocked at the buzzer. But a great third quarter surge by the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. And we're set up for another great finish here. As you take a look at the three by Noah Nelson, we send you to the fourth with the score 46-44. Copper Hills in front. Well, folks, here we go. Final 8 minutes of regulation time. Crimson Cliffs was down by as many as 12, or 14 rather. They are now down by only 2, and that's what they're playing for, folks. The winner moves on to the championship game tomorrow afternoon at 3:10 or 3:15, just after 3:15. The loser will go to the third place game at 1:30. It has been a humdinger of a game here as Reiser spins off, gets it over to Boston. Lamborn gets trapped. Back out it comes to Reiser, spins all the way off the glass. And a blocking foul called on Jaden Eaton. And again, Reiser just using his speed, blowing right around that corner. And he'll step to the line for a chance to hit 21 and 22 on the night. And Reiser leaves that one short. Foul called on Eaton, his second. Reiser's got 20 points and make it 21. And it's a 3-point Copper Hills lead here. This is the closest that Crimson Cliffs has been since they were down by 12. Backdoor pass, nice move. And the finish by Jaden Eaton. And this now is the closest that Copper Hills has felt Crimson Cliffs' presence tonight. It is a 1-point game. Reiser gets the screen, kicks it back. Haight reverses. Jacob Curtis, count it, and the contact. As he hits the floor hard in behind the play. He's okay though, he's up. The foul called on Luke Johnson, his first, team second. And Jacob Curtis will step to the line to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play as Sean Feltz checks back in with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left in regulation. It's a little taste of February and March basketball in December. As Curtis completes the three-point play, it's a two-possession game. Johnson looking deep. Travis Murdoch, number 31, who's checked in a lot tonight. Here's Johnson, pull-up three-pointer. Left it short. Rebound taken out by Eaton. Kicks it back. Murdoch will pull the trigger. Bingo! 1-point game once more. Crimson Cliffs hasn't led since it was 4-2. Nelson draped on Reiser out front. It's clear they don't want number 2 beating them single-handedly here in this fourth quarter. Lamborn, 10 on the shot clock for McVeigh. McVeigh looking, fakes the dribble handoff, pull up from 18 feet, no good. Rebound Murdoch and a chance to take the lead. And the long toss ahead by Johnson leads Eaton too far. Another costly turnover. McKay Lindquist comes back in. Noah Nelson goes out with 6:10 remaining here in regulation. Reiser speeding along, gets inside, kicks it out. Curtis for three. Another Ken Garf Automotive corner pocket three. And the Grizzlies back up by 4 with under 6 to play. Johnson tries to answer and does. McVeigh looking. Jacob Curtis drives and scores. Someone left him alone in the corner. Approaching 5 minutes to go. Approaching crunch time here at the Copper Hills, rather at the Falcon Classic here at Skyridge. Feltz lost control of it in the post. Was looking for a foul. They got 5-on-4 and numbers the other way. And all alone is Wes Curtis for the basket. Timeout, Crimson Cliffs. The most unlikely name comes through with an unlikely play. We'll be back in just a moment after this word from Allstate on KSLSports.com. Want to remind you folks that coming up tomorrow, the Lehigh Holiday Hoop Fest concludes with a full day of action starting at 9 a.m. as Pebblebrook, Georgia takes on Corner Canyon, and it's capped off with the Duncanville Panthers taking on the Orem Tigers. Coverage all starts tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Dusty Litster on the call on KSLSports.com. Of course, Corner Canyon playing Duncanville earlier today and coming up 1 point short of pulling off what would have been a massive early season upset. Meanwhile, it's getting tight here as Jaden Eaton cans that corner three. As Copper Hills and Crimson Cliffs battle down to the wire to see who goes to the Falcon Classic title game tomorrow afternoon. Alexander Timolet flying solo with you here at Skyridge High School. Curtis for three. Can't answer back. Johnson clears the glass. Trying to draw contact. Referee's not giving him the benefit. McKay Lindquist for the lead. Maybe rushed out a little bit as McVeigh clears the glass. Tyler McVeigh has done his best to back up Isaiah Reiser with a step back three. He knocks it down! What did you think was going to happen? 4 minutes to go. In the post, that shot is airballed. No good, and the rebound taken by Curtis. Looking on the outlet for Reiser. He didn't have him. Reiser now has 24 points. And he'll take it out front against Luke Johnson with 3.5 to go. 15 on the shot clock here for McVeigh. Lamborn looking low. Reiser, oh, he couldn't handle the pass. It was right there on his platter, but he couldn't take it in. Meanwhile, here's Eaton all the way in. No, but a foul. As we take a look at that last step back three by Isaiah Reiser. Now, folks, there's a reason why I give him the nickname Ice Reiser. He has a propensity for doing such a thing late in games. As Eaton steps up and splashes the first. Drake Carroll back in. Trevor Taylor back in as well. So sans Sean Feltz. The starters are all in here for Crimson Cliffs. As we are back in a one-possession game again with 3 minutes and 17 clock running here in this game. Winner goes to the championship tomorrow. Loser goes to the third-place game, but it's a little taste of February and March basketball in December. That's all that matters right now. And we have a hand check called in the high post against Carroll. Foul called on Carroll, his third, team third, with 3 minutes showing on the clock. And Sean Feltz is going to come in for the final 3 minutes. And he'll replace Jaden Eaton, who had himself a marvelous game to here this evening. And it's a loose pass. And Drake Carroll's all by himself, and he's going to lay it in. Boy, terrible miscommunication right there between McVeigh and Reiser. And we are in a 1 point game with under 3 to go. McVeigh. Lamborn for three. Bingo! Another Ken Garf Automotive three. Johnson fakes, sidestep. He'll try to answer. Cannot do so, and Reiser clears the glass. .219 to go. Crimson Cliffs has two more fouls to give before they put Copper Hills in the bonus. But right now, all they need to think about is getting another stop. Reiser, hesitation to the basket, hit the bottom of the rim. Ran out of space trying to get that pass, it was deflected, and it's going to go back to Copper Hills. Boston Lamborn looked like he got in the sight line. And it's another costly turnover for Crimson Cliffs. They have 12 here tonight, and they have been inopportune and costly. 1:45 to go. Copper Hills trying to close this one out and get to the championship game of the Falcon Classic for the second time in 3 years. Reiser to the basket, floater. What else can he do? He's got 26. 6-point lead. Johnson trying to answer with a three. He does. And a timeout is immediately called by Crimson Cliffs. As we take a look once again, Isaiah Reiser just carving up this Crimson Cliffs defense. As we said, past Falcon Classic champs, Skyridge won it here 2020, but Copper Hills was here against Dixie in 2021. That team of McCoy Langston, Nathan Sorensen, Quincy Hills, Kyson Hymas, and all that. They ended up getting a 6 seed that year in the UHSAA playoffs. We should point out the record for points in a single game is 35 by Brecken Robinson of Dixie against Harriman last year. Isaiah Reiser has 26. The total for one tournament weekend is Carter Welling of Corner Canyon. He had 70. Isaiah Reiser currently has 50 in 2 days. Or rather 48 in 2 days. He had 22 yesterday, and now he has 26 today. And so if he scores 22 plus points or 20 plus points on tomorrow, he could very well break that record. But first things first, got to close it out here, 65-62. As the Mustangs come with a little full court trap. Meanwhile, Carroll crashes hard into the glass. And Curtis will wisely back it out, not wanting to take any risks here. Wes Curtis. Good ball denial there by Carroll, but he gets it to Reiser. Reiser with 10 on the shot clock. Reiser pickpocketed there by Carroll. Here comes Johnson. Johnson drives. Taylor to the basket. Rattles it, will not go. Curtis with the rebound. And a timeout is immediately called by John Watkins. How in the world did that not go in? It seemed like it was hanging on the rim for an eternity. But it wouldn't behave. A full timeout called by Copper Hills with just under a minute to go. That would have made it a 1-point game. And that was probably the most excited I've gotten all night. Anyway, folks, here's what they're playing for. Copper Hills and Crimson Cliffs. The winner of this game goes to the title game tomorrow afternoon. Tyler Gibb and I will have the game wherever Copper Hills goes. If this score holds, Copper Hills will play in the championship. The loser goes to the third place game. And what a story it would be for Copper Hills if they were to start the season 0-3 and then pick up 2 huge wins, one against a good Skyridge team and then another one here tonight against a really good Crimson Cliffs team. But still, 40.5 seconds to go here in regulation, and a lot to do with Crimson Cliffs still has 2 more fouls to give before they put Copper Hills in the bonus. So this game not nearly over yet. As the officials are going to get together here down on the baseline and make sure everything is sorted out. Make sure the clock is correct. John Watkins standing out near the midcourt line just wants the team to get on with it. And that's exactly what they're going to do now. It comes into Reiser in the corner. And we have an armbar foul as Carroll got a little handsy on the sideline. Crimson Cliffs wanted the out-of-bounds step, but they didn't get the call. And that's going to be the 4th on Drake Carroll. It'll be the 4th team foul, so 1 more, and Copper Hills will be in the bonus. Remember, once we get to 5 fouls now, it is now a 2-shot bonus as that pass is stolen. Kick back in the corner to Carroll. They don't necessarily need a 3. Johnson going to try it anyway for 3. No good, but he is fouled. And Isaiah Reiser's the one who commits the foul with 25.9 to go. That is only his 3rd. And clearly you can see on the replay he was in his landing area, so Luke Johnson with 3 shots to potentially tie the game. And he makes 1. Crimson Cliffs is trailed by as many as 14 points. They haven't led since it was 4-2. That's 2. And John Watkins isn't going to let Luke Johnson have all the fun. He's going to call a timeout to try and ice him with 25.9 seconds to go. It is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. So in case anybody missed it, as we enter into this final 25.9 seconds of regulation, Copper Hills was up by as many as 14. It looked like they were primed for a runaway. But give credit to Crimson Cliffs. They have come back and made it a game. And led by their captain, Luke Johnson, they are 1 shot away from potentially tying this ball game with 25.9 seconds to go. Again, Isaiah Reiser committed the shooting foul coming into the landing area of Luke Johnson. So we are in a 1-point game. Reiser will be, or rather, Johnson will be shooting the 3rd free throw to try and tie the game. And that's why John Watkins, I think, called the timeout to try and ice him, to make him think about it. So here it is then. Tie game. And Isaiah Reiser fittingly will have it in his hands here for the last shot of regulation. And he's going to do it himself here. Isaiah Reiser with 10. Isaiah Reiser with 9. Crossover with 8. Reiser, pull up from the jumper. He cannot get it to go. Offensive rebound to Lambourne. He puts up the 3. That won't go. And we are going to overtime. So the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs were down by 14. They've tied it, and we're going to have a 5th quarter tonight here in Lehigh. Catch your breath. Back after this word from Allstate. Drama of the highest order, folks. You're getting a taste of February and March basketball in December. Put 4 more on the clock. The 5th quarter goes into effect here at Skyridge High School between Crimson Cliffs and Copper Hills. Alexander Timolip flying solo with you here at Skyridge High School. What a game. Sean Feltz and Wes Curtis will jump it up to begin overtime, as Logan Whitehour and the Dixie Flyers and the Harriman Mustangs and Carlo Mulford and Malcolm Johnson will have to wait a little bit longer to play their game, as we're off and running here in OT, as Jacob Curtis came down awkwardly, now gets up limping. Isaiah Reiser has 26 points. As we are going to get a foul on Drake Carroll away from the ball, and if that's on Carroll, he's gone. And not only that, it will put Copper Hills in the bonus for the remainder of overtime, and we still have 3 minutes and 43 seconds left. And Drake Carroll is going to leave, but not before Crimson Cliffs finds a suitable replacement for him. What a tough break. Noah Nelson now is going to be pressed into service here for the final 3:43 here of overtime. As Isaiah Reiser will head to the line. He's got 26 already tonight. Make it 27. He's got 51 total points in 2 games. The record for a weekend is 70. He's well on his way to breaking that. And now he's got 28. And Copper Hills has the lead to start overtime. Feltz in the post, matched up against Wes Curtis, turns, puts up the tough shot, left it short. Tyler McVeigh the rebound. Wes Curtis has done an outstanding job on Sean Feltz. Jacob Curtis trapped out near midcourt, gets it in the hands of Reiser. Lost control of it, now gets it back. But he's got 15 on the shot clock. Backs it out, starts his do-it-yourself kit here. 7 on the shot clock. Reiser spins, drives, wild shot, gets it off the glass, won't go, rebound, fought for. Long toss ahead for Taylor. Taylor for Feltz. Tied again. Lamborn for 3. Left it short. Feltz the rebound. Crimson Cliffs has not led since it was 6-4. Johnson lost control of it, and we have a foul. As we take a look at that tremendous sequence, Taylor finding the trailer Feltz, who just runs the lane and pulls the rim down with authority. As we're deadlocked here at 67. Feltz in the post again, matched up against Curtis. Taylor, they need it. They don't get it. McKay Lindquist, the offensive rebound. Goes up and scores. And this is the first lead that Crimson Cliffs has had since it was 6-4. Reiser racing up the floor with it. Leaves his man in his wake. Offensive foul. Yep. It looked like he got him. Hooked him around the waist. A tough call, but I think the right call. That's 4 on Reiser. Under 2 to go in OT. And Curtis almost got a steal out of that as it goes out of bounds. 1:49 left to go here in the game. And we may just be getting started here. That's scary to think. Taylor looking long, gets it to Johnson. Johnson drives, right hand off the glass, tipped. Fight for the rebound, and Lamborn has it. Both teams get an extra timeout here in overtime if they want to. Copper Hills has no timeouts. Had no timeouts, actually, at the end of regulation. Here's Tyler McVeigh. McVeigh spins, McVeigh drives, and a foul. Foul called on Taylor. Trevor Taylor picks up the foul. That, I believe, is his 4th. It is actually his 1st. And Tyler McVeigh will step to the line for 2 shots. Again, Copper Hills already in the bonus, and McVeigh splashes the first. One-point game with 1:22 to go here in overtime. McVeigh hits both, and we're tied again. 69's on the scoreboard. 1 minute 15 left to go here in the fifth quarter. Feltz back to Taylor. Nelson gets the return from Feltz. Nelson, good defense there by Isaiah Reiser. 15 on the shot clock. Johnson against Curtis. Shot clock down to 10. Johnson, Taylor, gotta look for somebody to shoot. Nelson gets it into the block. Here's Feltz, turns, hook shot in the paint, he gets it to go! 71-69. Still plenty of time for Copper Hills here. They don't necessarily need a quick basket. And we're going to get a foul out front against Nelson. 20 feet away from the basket for a hand check. That's his second. And we'll put Isaiah Reiser on the line to shoot two as we take a look at that last play by Feltz. Good deep post position and a nice little hook shot right over the top as Isaiah Reiser steps to the line. And he misses the first. He has 28 points tonight, and he has played all but about 5 minutes of this game. Reiser's second shot is good. He's got 29. 71-70 with 37.2 seconds left here in overtime. Next foul will put Crimson Cliffs in the bonus, so Copper Hills doesn't necessarily need to foul just quite yet. They get it in quick to Johnson, and Curtis does commit the foul. And that will put Luke Johnson on the line to shoot two. .8 seconds left here in OT. No matter what, it will still be a one-possession game here for Copper Hills. It is two shots, so they can make a substitution on this next play. As Johnson rattles that one in. Noah Nelson checks right back in, replacing Travis Murdoch with 35.8 seconds left here in overtime. Second shot on the way is good. Doesn't matter, though. It remains a three-point game with 35 seconds left. Shot and game clocks are just about even, so this will be it. Reiser on the return. Left somebody in his wake. Kicks it back. Lamborn back to Curtis. Puts up the three. No basket. Offensive foul. Tyler McVeigh called for the offensive foul. Johnson and him got tangled up at the high post. And so now Copper Hills has to foul. And Curtis will commit the foul with 15.6 seconds left in OT. And if that's on Jacob Curtis, I believe that is his fifth. And it is. Austin Ormond will come in to replace him quickly. It's not quite over just yet. It will still only be a two-possession game regardless of the outcome of these free throws. As Johnson steps up and makes the first. He's been everywhere tonight in this second half for Crimson Cliffs, single-handedly leading them back in this comeback. Second shot is good. This will be it. Reiser drives. Wes Curtis, blocked by Feltz. It'll stay here with 8.1 seconds to go. They don't want any fouls. Reiser, deep three. Got it! Holy mackerel! 31 for Isaiah Reiser and a timeout. And that thing was from out near the parking lot. So it's a 2-point game with about 4 seconds to go. So this thing really ain't done yet. Isaiah Reiser, 51 total points. We talked about it. He now has 53 total points. 22 yesterday, 31 today. He has single-handedly carried this team. And they have needed it because of the onslaught that Luke Johnson has provided here in the second half. We want to remind you the winner of this game moves on to the championship game tomorrow afternoon. It looked like for the longest time it was Copper Hills, but Crimson Cliffs one stop away from getting to the championship. But they need to inbound it first. First things first. 4.7 seconds left. They try to get it in. Taylor running the floor, throws it in. Lindquist, is anybody going to get him the foul? They are going to get him, but only half a second remains. And for all intents and purposes, that should do it. Foul called on Boston Lamborn, his third. But unless something incredibly insane happens here in the final seconds, you can't possibly think Crimson Cliffs is going to give this one up, as Lindquist all but seals it with a free throw. That will take the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs into the All-State Falcon Classic Championship game. Final seconds, final shot goes on the way. It's no good. That's the end of the game. Crimson Cliffs comes all the way back and wins it in overtime, 77-73. And they are off to the Falcon Classic Championship game. A tremendous game here tonight, as Isaiah Reiser's 31 not enough for the Copper Hills Grizzlies. We now like to name our Heidemann and Associates player of the game. Who else but Luke Johnson, the captain, single-handedly carrying the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs back from the brink, down 14 in the first half, down 10 in the second. They find a way to pull it out in overtime. And honorable mention for player of the game goes to Isaiah Reiser, 31 points. He now has 53 total. He needs 17 more to tie the record for most points in a tournament weekend. He absolutely should be in consideration for the all-tournament team. But it's the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs that are victorious here this evening. We'll be back tomorrow with Copper Hills taking on the loser of our next game, Dixie and Harriman. What a game we've, though, had here tonight. For Rob Geertsen and Zach and all of our crew here, and for Vince Francis back at Salt Lake, my name is Alexander Timo. This has been another presentation of Copper Hills Basketball on the Rewind Sports Network, presented by Ken Garff Automotive Dealers. The All-State Falcon Classic continues tomorrow as the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs are victorious, 77-73 in overtime. Until we meet again, everyone, aloha from Utah. Take care of one another, and good night.